think we have a problem.
Hello, Pit Droids. Welcome to our 7th episode of Droid Pit podcast. Today, we are welcoming the Iron Man Matt Cary.
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
Welcome. Yeah, nice to have
Yeah.
you.
And also Deb with me.
Hello, welcome, listeners.
Yeah, today we will talk about the upcoming releases of X-Wing 2nd Edition. No mentioning of something else, just X-Wing 2nd Edition for you here. So, Matt, can you tell us about yourself, about your X-Wing career, about your passion, or something about yourself?
Oh well, I'll just talk about how getting into X-Wing. My buddy Dan, who's the Midwest Scrub from my podcast, he met with me before Thanksgiving one year and said, "Hey, I got this game. Do you want to try it out?" And I played one time with him, and I was hooked immediately and started buying chips off of eBay. That was back in first edition, so that was a while back ago. I think it was November 2017. It's hard to tell with the pandemic. It confuses time. But then I went on to play and started getting good. And then second edition came out, and then that's when I started making my mark on X-Wing because I won the first big second edition tournament, which was the Gold Squadron Classic, and then I won a 64-person hyperspace trial, and just kept doing good past that. And somewhere along the line, me and my friends started recording the Midwest Scrubcast and writing a blog, Confessions of a Midwest Scrub. And I fairly regularly did commentary on the points updates, and I think people like those. Yeah, and got to play on the American XTC team 2 years in a row, so that was also fun. And played a lot of the Galaxies and did well in those. So if you've heard my name, that's probably where it's from, the Galaxies and whatnot. But yeah, just glad to have had a lot of fun playing X-Wing.
Hey,
Really
Deb, we have a pro here finally.
Yeah, it's that's the first one. Pro on the was really playing in really high tournaments.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Matt.
Well,
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Happy to be here.
I have a question. Do you consider yourself a competitive player, like aimed for achievements, or you love X-Wing as a game as a whole?
I love X-Wing as a game, but I cannot separate it from being competitive. That is in my nature. If any board game that I play, I will be playing to win. I cannot turn my trying to win off. That's part of my enjoyment. So, yeah, if I would be losing consistently, I would be having less fun. But I still probably the best thing about the X-Wing community, X-Wing game, is the community. So that there's always that going on. But yeah, I definitely love winning. So I'm in it to win.
I understand. Yeah, I am on the opposite side of X-Wing. I am more fascinated by the game itself and the community and making friends, spending time, and I never aimed for success. Maybe slightly somewhere, yeah, but not overall. And when I encounter people like you, like in a good way, like you, I don't get sad when I lose or something like that, because I know you have your own path.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously love the game for it just being a fun game, so I don't begrudge anybody that's just, they're going out to hang out with friends and push some spaceships around.
Yeah,
but
for me, it's for me to come. Would say I am competitive in the sense that it's not like I have, or it's not like tournaments are super important if there is a tournament I can play, it's nice. I have played in tournaments, and like Matt, I think what you said, it's like if I play, I'm usually trying to play with an optimize, or I want to optimize the list, for example, in list building, so I
Yeah.
have better chances to win. And I'm playing to win in the sense.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
somewhere between competitive and casual.
Okay. Cool.
I even have a glass statue from one of the tournaments they won, and then I deeply I keep the memories of those times with the worms. I have a glass statue for the first place.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
I have
it was our friends from Kaliningrad in Russian community made, and like kinda open system tournament for the whole Russia. And
Okay.
people from Moscow, St. Petersburg, Nizhny Novgorod came to Kaliningrad. It was fun.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I have one poker, one trophy from the German online league where I got third, I think, or fourth. Yeah, third.
I have a shelf. I won't go into how many trophies I have. That feels.
Oh, and yeah, that's-
I don't want to brag on myself. That doesn't.
Please don't.
I try to be humble, and I don't want to just go talking about stuff. So.
Whoa, what a great man.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, thank you for coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah, and if we talk about community, honestly, competitive players make a really big part of it, and they are like these like pillars of community who attract more people, because if you want to be competitive, you want to have opponents, and different opponents with different skills, different mindsets.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, and the recent events of the past year hit hard our local community, because most of the competitive players stopped playing. Yeah, and then I realized how important competitive is.
Yeah. I think that was in my community. That's what helped keep X-Wing alive, is that there were so many competitive people. But yeah, like you said, it's if once those folks start to die off, you don't have the people that are there every week that can always be the pickup game for any casual that walks in each week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
agree. I think, like I said, um, competitive player are those that invest time, and like you said, it's really important for if you want to call community that you are there regularly. So if new players say, okay, I'm interested, I want to have a game, there's always somebody there who can play
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because if they go in a new player in a group and like ask 2 or 3 times and nobody is there to play, it's difficult.
Yeah.
and I maybe have an advice for people who try to revive local community or build up a new one. I've been running tournaments for a couple of years, since the start of pandemic 2020, and it was like one tournament per month. It was like a standard for our community, and I had a feedback, kind of late feedback, if you ask me, like several months ago, that there's no need for such tense, so many tournaments in a row. So if you want to build up a community, like announce a tournament in maybe 3 months or 4 months, and then try to gather game nights not just hey, let's go play. Maybe let's go train for this upcoming tournament.
Yeah, we got to the point where in our local there was 2 different stores, and both of them would do a tournament per month, and that got to be a little heavy. I think even just one tournament a month was a little heavy. I think it'd be a little bit better to do the one every other month, so every 2 months might be a better schedule. But we still have a decent size, so the one per month is kind of working, but it's enough to where it doesn't, I don't know, feel as glorious to go to a tournament and win it, because it's like, oh, this is just something we do every week, every month.
Mm-hmm.
But make it a little more rare, I guess. Make it feel more special, because it's
Yeah.
not as common.
Yeah, our tournaments were casual and everybody was playing it from the little age to their oldest and various skills. And yeah, making tournaments less frequent makes them more special and helps people to organize their schedule to attend to it.
Yeah, and it's easier. It's easier for those organizing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Not so much organizing.
Yeah, and I wanted to make some prizes like medals or trophies, but if there is a tournament every month, there is no point in giving out trophies and medals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also becomes harder to hand out the trophy and medals, because that coming up with prize support every month. Yeah. It's a little more difficult.
Yeah, and towards community building, I can say I'm trying to build my local community too, and I think I just want to say, because I think for Legacy, it's we don't have those big official tournaments, but I want anyone listening really to encourage, go out there. It's yeah, it's not, basically get a friend or two and go to your local store, advertise it, and just having fun. It's especially if you, for example, a competitive player and you don't have and do the local community tried up. I think it's it's easy. It's not as hard as it's as perhaps people one could think. It's you need to be consistent and be a bit patient, but just from a local someone doing this the first time, going into a store, because in Germany we doesn't have so much game stores. It really I didn't regret to try it. So it would I got 2 new players in, and I would encourage anybody to do it, even if it's okay. Go to your friends and friends you play with, even if there are 1 or 2. Go to your store and have fun. That's the best advertisement.
And speaking of building a community, we can start talking about the starter kits that are coming.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, I think it's really important. So that that there is new stuff. Right now it's probably more important for 2.5 than for 2.0, but it's everything is compatible. But
Yeah, but I wouldn't say so. For example, I see some people coming from long hibernation in our local community in Russia, and they are wanting to start their collections or maybe continue collections with new factions, and there is no availability with
yeah, so old
yeah,
stuff isn't getting printed anymore. Yeah, that's
yeah,
fair.
Yeah.
and yeah, continue.
I was going to say, just the TIE Bomber being in the new release helps folks that, I know there's still somewhat easy to find over here where I am, but I don't know what other people's local game stores look like. Could they not find a TIE bomber or whatever ship they're looking for, and that will help out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard about the price of the starter kits?
No, I believe it's
They
on the
SogeMoge site. Yeah.
Asmodee X-Wing starter
I've seen pictures on Reddit people actually getting the boxes already.
Yeah.
They look to be about $60,
70,
60 American dollars.
75,
Oh,
76, yeah,
oh,
76,
oh wow,
75 dollars, yeah.
oh wow.
Which is actually a nice price for when you think the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, for
For
example, the pack with
if
two
you have,
ships like Rogue-class Starfighter is 78 or
Oh
48,
wow,
48. So it's
yeah,
30-ish dollar difference.
yeah. And you get 4 ships and some dice and some. So I think one of the big selling points on this is getting people like that only had one faction in
Yep.
first edition and they want to come back to play. And this has the templates that they need, a damage deck that they need, and the dice. It'll get us some extra dice. They probably had dice, but they can just buy. If they were just an Empire only faction player, they could just buy the Empire conversion, or not conversion kit, the starter kit, and then they're set to go. They don't have to buy the core kit anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably
And
still recommended, but yeah.
yeah. And since I think 2 days, all the standard loadouts pilots are also into Legacy. So right now there isn't, the only thing that you can't use is in 2.0 as objective markers, but that will be coming 7th July.
Yeah.
So even if a 2.0 player wants to says, okay, I want to get new player in, the nice thing is he doesn't. You just have to say, okay, swaps.
What? Deb, are you here?
I also think it pairs well if somebody new wants to get into the game, they could get if them and a friend want to start playing X-Wing, they could get the core kit and one of them could buy the Empire set, one of them could buy the Rebel
Yeah.
set, and you have a good amount of variety of what you can build. I mean, it gets a little expensive, but if you're splitting amongst 2 people, it's not as bad. But yeah, you can actually, whereas before you're like, okay, well now I got the core kit and my friend has to buy a TIE fighter, the TIE X1, and probably another ship, and then the Rebel player has to get a B, A, Y, X, and now you can just buy one set and just be set to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's something that's it's really nice that this time it's faction splitted.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and new starter kits also have pilots from the core set, like Luke Skywalker on the X-Wing.
Oh, they do. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I wasn't
But
certain about that.
yeah, the only
I knew that I
drawbacks.
didn't. What's that?
No, the only drawback is this starter kits has no longer generics, only named
Oh yeah,
pilots.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's yeah. We have only named.
yeah. But yeah, it's I don't remember what I was gonna say. Yeah, it seems like I had a friend that was talking about he heard me talking about because I went to I go to tournaments every once in a while and he was talking about getting into the game and I was like, well, you're you're at an interesting point in the game for a couple different reasons because there's different versions out there, but also there's a point where starter kits are going to start coming out, and that's might be when you want to start getting into the game because it's easier to buy in. And yeah, I think it's a good starting point. And for somebody like me, where I already have all these ships, I like. So you said that like Luke Skywalker's in this kit. I didn't know because I really haven't paid. Once I found out that I'm not getting anything new, I just kind of passed over it. But for newer folks, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I will probably get it, but just for I'm planning, I can announce it here too. I am planning to have an video with a friend where I go over the unboxing, basically an unboxing legacy unboxing starter kit
Okay, cool.
video.
Will you put some extra generics before unboxing?
I actually, yeah, that's something I think I will do to say, okay,
Whoops! How did they get here?
not before unboxing, but I think that I will point out that because 2.5 generics aren't played
Viable.
or aren't viable. This they aren't there, but yeah, in Legacy you can have those too. But yeah, I will do anyone listening and saying, okay, I want to get a friend into it, but he's probably confused what is what. We will help out. I'm working on a I'm working on video with a
Nice.
friend.
Looking
So
forward
it's
to it.
clear. Yeah. I'm not yeah. I leave it open when it come out. I hope soon, but
Yeah. Well, let us know, and we'll tell everybody.
yeah, I will post it on everywhere when it's out.
Yeah.
He is also good in editing, so it should be really
Nice.
nicely edited and all.
Nice. And before moving to the next topic, I think we should just clear the generic thing. Is that the only place where you can get them is from the distinct pilot ship expansion pack or the conversion kit. Yeah.
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 So let's move on to the next expansion pack that we are waiting for.
Oh wait, let's first start in the first Scrubdown. You did a 2.0 side tournament.
Yeah. So we hosted our second annual Midwest Scrubdown tournament in St. Louis, Missouri. For those of you that don't know where exactly that it is in the U.S., we're like basically in the very center of the U.S., just a little south of Chicago. And we host a 2.5 tournament and a 2.0 tournament, and I'm glad that we did it again this year, specifically 2.0, because we had several people say that they were like, I forgot how much fun this was. So hopefully that will spring up some more folks playing in our area, especially with some 2.5 disinterest growing. So, but we had 14 players at the tournament, the side tournament, and our I was just going to go over a couple of interesting lists that I saw there. If you're cool with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Hit us.
Yeah. All right. So there's a guy that was he registered as Jedi Rush, and he flew. It's just silly. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Hawks, Spice Runners, and then he had a mining deal tie, which was Foreman Proach. Just a whole smattering of just 2-die attacks coming at you, and I don't know. I don't think he did super great. He was middle of the pack, but it was just like when I went over there, I was like, there are so many ships over here. What are all these Hawks doing here?
Were there any upgrades?
Just let's see. Let me pull back up. Where'd it go? Nothing on the Hawks. And Sunny Bounder had the X-23 thread tracers, and then Foreman Proach had Marg Sable closure and precision ion engines. I think he was just thinking he didn't need a bit at all and just threw some 1-point upgrades on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, oh, actually, Marg Sable works pretty well. I forgot that it worked really well with the scum tie because you
Yeah,
can drive with a rock
asteroids.
and it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a staple on them, honestly.
Yeah.
I tried them too, but yeah, it didn't work for me. But I can see it's probably the best place for Mark Sable in the game.
And then our second place guy, Tim Wharton, he flew Kylo. His isn't uploaded, so I can't give you the specifics of it, but it was Kylo Tabson and it was Blackout Tabson and I want to say Hollow. And he flew really well, and it was good to see an Upsilon on the table again because those just don't exist in 2.5. So it was really cool, and he got top 2. But our top player, Jafferwocky, he flew. Let me pull this one up.
Before you go there, just
Yeah.
did Blackout have sensitive controls because that's
He didn't have it uploaded. I don't think that he did. I understand that would be a really good move because you can play around behind rocks. So I would
play
agree
him only like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
that's why I was asking.
Yeah, he probably did. Honestly, again, he's one of the few people that didn't upload their list because we just checked the paper copy. Yeah, boo. Yeah, we checked the paper copies, so he was fine. But yeah, trick shot and hide behind a rock. Yeah, that seems the way to go. But our winner, yeah. Our winner flew an old classic. It was Hatchet Man. It was Darth Vader in the X1 with fire control systems and afterburners, and then Colonel Jenin with Emperor Palpatine, and then Major Vendor in the Alpha-class Starwing with proton torpedoes, advanced slam, the loadout, the arsenal loadout that lets them take the extra torpedo, and then fire control system. So that was something that the Birmingham Barons made a long time ago. I think in like 2019, and I think the only difference in the list is it was Lieutenant Sy instead of Colonel Jindin. But yes, Jafferwocky ended up taking the win in the tournament with this list, and it was also good to see an Alpha-class Starwing out there again.
Yeah,
and always nice to see the space cow.
Oh yeah, yes. Oh, that was something. There were several that were there, and that was the only person that uploaded a list that had it. But yeah, there's several space cows to see, and that was also good to see because a little tired of the Reaper. I like the old Lambda coming out.
Yeah, we have them in Legacy.
Yes.
So much ships and generics and stuff in Legacy.
And I want just have a highlight on our practice league that runs every month, and there you can encounter lambdas in the list of your opponents.
Yeah.
As I had.
Yeah. But yeah. So I guess. The Alpha-class Starwing was there, and that will also. I don't know if we have an official release date, but that should be coming out soon.
Yeah, we don't have a release date. I don't. Yeah, perhaps this year mostly. Yeah. Yeah. Just to that list, I nice to see. I like that old lists are still seeing play.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. I really liked. So I like the Birmingham Baron list so much that I wrote an article on it. When I saw it, I was like, oh, this is really good. I can see why this is incredibly competitive, because that was back when Quad Phantom was happening, and I didn't want to fly Quad Phantom. I'm competitive, but I don't like flying the meta. So
yeah,
it was nice to see somebody develop something that could counter that list that wasn't something that was Rebel Beef or Quad Phantom itself. So I really like that list.
Yeah. Also nice variety you had there in there. So like nothing really doubling.
Yeah.
And how many players were on the main event?
Main event was 40, I want to say. And then while the top cut was happening is when this tournament was going on. So we had 14 from the 2.0, and we had about 40 for the main event.
Nice.
So, yep. Those that didn't quite make it to the cut played this the next day, and it wasn't like it cost them any more. They were already they just had to register online and come in and play.
That's a great conversion.
Yeah.
Do you want a random fact about Starwing?
Yeah.
Can you name a card where Starwing is pictured in the X-Wing, except configurations?
Oh my god. No.
That's not a pilot.
No, not a pilot. It's an upgrade.
Is it saturation salvo?
I don't think so.
No.
Advanced Slam? Oh, that's then caving.
Yeah, it's caving.
Okay.
It's jamming beam.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's the gun pots. Nice.
Yeah, if you look closely, you'll get the wings of the Starwing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Starwings really look fantastic.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, Starwings look out of the Star Wars design philosophy. They are out of this place. They don't belong here. They are too beautiful, too pointy, maybe. Like.
Yeah, they look like they in contrast to, for example, many ties, they look a bit like this could be an realistic or sensible design.
Yeah, they are too functional.
Yeah. So yeah, they are coming out. We don't have any info, but we know that the YT 2400 got a redesign when we later come to it. So just curious to you, what do you think? Like AMG, for example, AMG decides they want to give them another role or redesign it. What could some avenues you think? Yeah, what can be changed, made different? What could be interesting?
It's possible that because of how they're handling the YTU 2400, that maybe they'll do some different pilots or some twists on the pilots, because not Major Vendor, the other pilot, the one that doesn't get played. Yeah, they'll give a different twist to that pilot, or maybe they'll just add pilots.
Yeah,
Nice,
they already they already tweaked it with the low slots, loadout slots. Yeah, some of them can take torpedoes, some of them can take double cannons, like some crazy stuff. Yeah, more pilots would be good, because it basically has one pilot, named pilot, right now.
Yeah. Especially looking at their design philosophy, where they don't care for generics. If they're ever going to release stuff now, it has to have like at least 3 pilots. Otherwise, it's like you've given a ship that only has 2 pilots in it, and so maybe they'll be more liberal in giving us much more pilots to fly with. I don't know if they'll do any different configurations though, because like Dad was saying, or actually I think both of you were saying, that they can affect the loadout however they want now. So,
They didn't
whereas
create any conflicts. Yeah.
yeah, so they probably won't do anything different there. I don't know. Maybe they will.
Well, since configurations give extra slots, maybe they will release errata for configurations every half a year.
Who knows?
Who
They're
knows?
very unpredictable, so
Yeah.
I can't say.
The one thing that I fear is that they don't like high damage output, like for example 4 dice attacks, which we can see on the scum on the dash. So they are cutting his power. And speaking of reprints, if we ever see an Upsilon reprint, imagine Upsilon releasing the 3 dice attack and a special condition or special configuration that lets it attack with 4 dice only for 2 times. which is the max times the Upsilon attacks in a game.
I don't hope they do this. I mean, the thing about Legacy is if they do it, then it will be just another variation, because we like with the YT 2400, we won't, like, the old version will still get points and be balanced. So, but yeah, I think if they are going to get this route, it doesn't fit the Starwing. I think even in the lore, they perhaps the more appropriate way be even more high damage dealer. Because I think in the lore they are really this hard hitting ship.
That's so. I mean, one of the ways that the ship suffers in 2.5 is you can't you can't build Hatchet Man how you can in 2.0. 2.0, like the version that the guy had in our tournament, he had proton torpedoes and advanced proton torpedoes. It just doesn't. You can't get that to fit in 2.5. So you can't run Hatchet Man as he was, and you can't run any of the other ones as a fake Hatchet Man, because they just don't have the loadout or they don't have the slots, and it's one of the better parts about 2.0 is that you get to build what you want to build. So
on that note, I think for example, we like in 2.0 every pilot is customizable because we separate the pilot from the standard loadout. So I mean, probably for 2.0, a debuff version could be interesting in the sense that we still have the original version.
But it will be a pain for the balance team.
Oh yeah, I already heard that how we do the old title on the new dash or something is too broken. I don't. Probably there will be a water to that.
I'm curious whether they're going to just because from the spoiler image, we only see the new title on the standard loadout. So whether I'm curious whether they're going to keep the Outrider, like if they're going to release a new Outrider title, or they're just going to only on the standard loadout, it's going to be like that. Because there's upgrades like on the Battle of Yavin Han Solo, there's a Chewbacca upgrade that's a crew upgrade that they didn't release a new crew, but it's completely different than the regular Rebel Chewbacca crew upgrade. So they may not do that, and that would make it a little simpler for the 2.0 team to.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Can you read for the listeners what's the title says?
Yeah. Okay. So it's Outrider, and it's a little blurry. So let me pull up a bigger image. Okay. So it says, while you perform a primary attack at range 3, roll 1 additional dice. And just for viewers at home, the new YT 2400 only has a 3-die turret, so it's not like the other one. So you wouldn't be rolling a ton more dice. And then it says, while you perform an attack that is obstructed by an obstacle, you may change one of the defender's evade results to a eyeball result. So just a little bit different than the current one.
So it's like a juke. It's like juke.
Juking.
Yeah. So you get a juke, and then also when you're at range 3, you get 4 dice instead of 3.
Well, if they bring that as a standalone card, it will be funny on the old.
Yeah, it will. It's like, I'm at range 3 with 4 dice already. Here's my 5th dice, and you know what? I'm taking trick shots, so I get 6 dice.
And by the way,
give me that.
Yeah. And I juke you. Yeah, that would be absurd. Oh man.
Probably.
Imagining it like that, I think there won't be a standalone version of this title.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read the new Dash's ability as well?
Yep.
Yeah, it's for scum.
Yeah. It's so after you gain a red token as a result of, it looks like, moving through or overlapping an obstacle, you may transfer that red token to a friendly ship at 0 to 1, which doesn't sound anywhere near as good.
Nope.
Yeah, mostly blank ability, but you can use it, but not intentionally.
Yeah. It's unless you like gain stress by driving through an obstacle and you want to give stress to like 10 Numb or what's his name, Braylon Stram. I can't think of where you want to do that. It just seems
but he's scum. He has no such
that's the scum one. I forgot. Yes, there's the scum one now. That makes sense.
And they changed the sensor blind spot.
Yeah. So while you perform a primary attack at range 0 to 1, you roll 1 fewer to die, which is, that's what it was before. But now with your 3-die attack, you're rolling 2 dice. But also, while you defend at range 1, you roll 1 fewer defense die. So yeah, you're a lot squishier. You become more like a Falcon, a YT 1300 at range 1. That I don't like that.
No, it's a really debuffed version. Probably a bit, probably a bit more balanced. I don't think the old dash unbalanced, but the old dash has to be watched more carefully than this version. There's less potential.
And then there's the Rebel Dash has a new ability, and it's like his old ability, except for its engagement phase. So during the engagement phase, you ignore the effects of obstacles that you are overlapping. So before he was during the activation phase, so he could drive through them and ignore them. Now he can land on them, suffer the effects, but still be able to shoot during engagement if he's on a rock or what have you. Or
I like it. I like that they are now with that the 2 options.
Those don't feel super strong or super bad either way, and I feel like it's like, oh well, it's just which dash do I want to fly. That might get annoying as an opponent because you're like, hey, which one are you flying? But being able, and that makes trick shot even better, and the old title, because you're like, hey, I'm just gonna sit on this rock, I don't have any, I didn't get my action, but I'm still going to be shooting 5 dice at you or something like that.
Well, that will be just in White Space with the 10 asteroid scenarios. That will be fun.
Oh my goodness!
But this new dash has only 3 reds.
Yeah. So that is a saving grace. Because holy goodness.
Yeah, I can understand why they did that, and the OG Dash is really an frightening ship to play against, especially for the unskilled players. And but I think they overdo it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on the defenses where they really didn't need to hit it as hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, especially was in 2.5 only the this version legal. It feels, yeah, like you said, it feels a bit hard on what the YT 3000 was, 4000
Yeah.
was was originally.
Yeah. I'm hoping, so like we were talking about with the Starwing, I'm hoping that they release more pilots for this one because they had there's other canonical pilots
Yeah.
from like Rebels. There was Matt Martin and like the other people that were in Iron Squadron. So it's like maybe we could get one or two more pilots there as well.
Yeah.
And they only revealed Dash and Lebo to us, and then other Dash. So
Maybe
Yeah,
there is another Dash.
yeah,
of course that
yeah, there's another.
There's
there are
another.
no new pilots, just more variations of that.
Yeah,
It's a new competitor to the Oddball.
And it gets progressively worse. So next
yeah.
version
Oh,
is 2 defense size, 0 defense size and range 1 and so on.
And the last one is the Dash on the escape pod.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and to the SL card, just looking if there's any new thing that stands out.
Yeah, it's
I
Seeker
like the new
missiles. Yeah, and mercenary title.
Yeah. And the Seeker missiles is actually interesting. I think during the it reads attack log spend 1 charge during the modify attack dice step. You it's Chloe. You speed up to 2 additional. You can have 2 charges and change 1 of the eye results to a hit results.
yeah. I
For
mean
each
that.
charge.
Yeah, it helps you cover that. Not all of it because it's range 2 to 3, but really, if somebody arc dodges your side bow tie arc, you've got something that can help if you happen to have them locked to and with that soft eyeball mod, you can change that eyeball to a hit. So it's like having a mini force for your missile.
It's double
And
modded
it's
missile.
Yeah.
And it's on it's I think it's good that it is on Scum because I think there are less ways to get the lock. If, for example, in Rebel, it's Dutch, easy way to
Yeah.
get lock.
Yeah, there's so many ways to toss actions with Ahsoka and Aaron and Dutch and
Yeah.
And then there's Lebo Crew, which is after you repair a damage card, you may perform an action from your action bar. Oh, so that's cool. That basically lets you repair and then continue taking more actions.
Yeah. And then there's mercenary after another friendly ship in which 022 is destroyed. When it is removed from the play area, transfer 1 of its green token to yourself, which is okay. Interesting that this will be encouraged to use mercenary, encouraged to be played in a swarm, because then I can get lots of green tokens.
Yeah.
Well, in 2.5 you can't play a 2 or 3 count list. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
Scum really can't do that.
Yeah.
We have a little peek at what Lebo is. It says after you perform a calculate action, and that's all we can see.
Again, another calculate token.
Yeah, probably. That is most likely what it will be.
Yeah. I think some of the upgrades with the SL there are really interesting. Some, for example, the Seeker missile would be really interesting general upgrade.
Yeah, I would like to see that released as a general upgrade, and just added to things that other people can take.
On that note, if anybody listens and want that we do it, just give us feedback. I mean, for example, that if AMG isn't doing it, and if there is enough feedback, and if people really want that Seeker missile or other stuff, not all, because the new Chewbacca is crazy on any other ship, but some upgrades to get them as a standalone for Legacy, if people want that, give us feedback.
Yeah.
If AMG isn't doing it.
But for the Libre, it says at the start of the something.
And at the start of the, or
and
it's
then
at the end of, and then acquire.
Acquire, yeah. So we acquiring only target locks.
Yeah, so
if I remember it right.
Maybe,
yeah,
maybe at the end of the, it looks like that could be the start of an E. So at the end of the engagement phase, I don't know. But maybe you can acquire a lock. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
I think we've covered all of.
Yeah.
And
the next one is Battle of Endor.
Yeah.
Which, of course, just saying, when the scenario comes out, the scenario will be also covered, like Battle of Yavin was, and
and you can find previous scenarios, adapted scenarios on our website, x2po.org. So what we have here?
Yet another wedge.
And really expensive.
I don't have so many doors for all those wedges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a different ability. After you perform an attack that hits, gain 1 focus token. So makes him a little more defensive, because I know that regular wedge, he's more of a heavy hitter on offense, but now he's going to be your guy that hits and tries to stay alive.
And with the Gen Erso, he can gain evade with this.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
And just thinking, is there, because it comes to SL, because he has open slots, will have open slots into Warrior. Or just thinking, is there any special upgrade other than that was taken? That can be on him?
I don't think so. Only abilities from his friends.
Yeah. No, I mean for 2.0, we can have, there will be the open slots. That's why I'm saying, is there anything outside the standard loadout which you would like?
Nothing that's coming to mind at the moment. I haven't really analyzed wedge.
Probably the Astromex, the R3 Astromex, who gives 2 locks out. So the chance that it's double, your opponent is double locked, or it's double modified is higher.
Yeah. The ship also has like a different configuration type deal, or just ship ability. It's basically their way of doing S foils without flipping. It just says, so he's got focus link to boost natively. Oh, and also has barrel roll link to boost. Ooh, that's good.
To focus.
And just has, but after you perform, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Barrel roll link to focus, red focus. But locked S foils say after you perform a boost action, gain a deplete token, which that might have been, if deplete tokens existed at the start of 2nd edition, that might have been how FFG would have probably handled it instead of doing a flippable card.
Yeah.
On
the other hand, I like on the old config that that is not just the deplete token. This is definitely stronger because you still have all the actions.
Yeah.
That
My problem with the configurations is I probably would have won a GSP Fight Club thing if I hadn't forgot to flip my foils on one of my ships. That's my
Oh.
my.
Oh.
I can go back and watch that mistake at the top table and be like, oh, that
All right.
was bad. But yeah, no, I see merits to both. I like both, but yeah, configurations I forget often enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
the downside.
yeah, it's one of the coolest like tabletop mechanics. It's so I know so real. If you feel it when you flip
Yeah.
flip the card that the foils is open and all closed.
I
The
mean,
same for droids or anything
yeah.
else.
Yeah, that's another thing why I like it. It feels like you are. This is a bit more static, but like you said, I can see the upside. It's easier to remember.
Yeah, I was playing Tri Fighters in the recent Legacy Team tournament, and I enjoyed every round when I said, "Well, I am dropping the boosters," and I imagine how the boosters are detaching from the
yeah.
Tri Fighters. Well,
Yeah,
so cool.
Yeah, the resistance driving didn't went too well. I heard my recommendation.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably probably had a bit of luck in my test games. But yeah, when it comes to the standard loadouts, who goes first? Go first because it's only one new thing, I think.
It's a trap. We have a title. It says while defending, if there are more other friendly ships than enemy ships at range 0 to 1, you may reroll one of your blank results.
so this definitely leans into him being a more defensive version of Wedge.
Yeah, so everybody is annoyed of Wedge with -1 green die because it's oppressive, and they
Yeah.
made the opposite version of it.
Yeah. He's like he
Yeah.
gets a focus token after he hits, and then he gets to re-roll his blank results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think his R2A3 is different. After
yeah.
you perform an action, you may spend one charge to acquire lock. He's only got a single charge on this, so he would basically be doing like you probably focus and then spend the charge and do a lock. So one time he gets a fully modded attack,
Which would be also a really interesting standalone upgrade.
he's got advanced proton torpedoes, so that could mean for one really good turn he just hits really hard, and then after
Oh,
that
yeah.
he's just a defensive X-wing.
Yeah. On initiative 6.
And he has one shot more.
He's got
So
one what more?
one
3
shield more.
shields. 3
Oh,
shields.
he does. Yeah, he is definitely more defensive. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But probably good that he doesn't have the old ability.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
more defensive old ability Wedge would be not good.
Yeah, and it's true for the defender that we have from the same battle pack. He has one more shield also. Maybe it's maybe they tried to show that the technology advanced by the time from the first battle.
Yeah, that could. Wait, I'm just. Is it really one shield more?
No, because it was 3 hull, 4 shields on the other defenders as well,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's the old defenders that had
Yeah, the
three,
one
three.
First edition of defenders.
Oh, right.
Defender. Yeah.
I never played the 1.0,
Oh, okay.
but
I played the
somehow I
1.0.
remember it.
Yeah. But there is a new defender that they spoiled.
Yep.
And it's Captain Yor, Captain Yor was a Space Cow pilot in first edition. He flew.
So he get promoted.
Yeah, I guess so.
Defender.
Now he's flying the defender, which
I like the art.
Yeah,
With
I find
the teammate.
this ship interesting because uh, it's a much more it's a tie offender. Like it's more offensive than
Yeah.
defensive. It's sort of like how Wedge went more defensive. This one went more offensive. Because the pilot ability is after you perform a primary attack that hits, you may spend 1 charge to perform a bonus cannon attack. Sorry.
Bless you.
And yeah, so he's the problem with the other ones is they have to take the TIE Defender Elite to
Yeah,
do
which
that bonus cannon
to-
attack, and this one doesn't have to.
I just thinking with the configuration. It's actually, I'm thinking with the open slots, it's possible. You can't take the old configuration because
Yeah, it replaces the full throttle, and this
and
defender
it
has
doesn't
different
have.
chassis ability.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, because so this new chassis ability leaning into the offense as well. After you instead of the full throttle where you get a free evade at speed 3 to 5, it's after you fully execute a 3 to 5 maneuver, you may perform a lock action. So you get a free lock instead of a free evade. And then there's another line that says, while attacking, if you are not stressed, you may spend a shield to apply a range 1 bonus. So you could spend a shield, again, removing defense to be more offensive, to say do a 4-die attack at range 3 or range 2. So yeah, he's trying to hit hard.
Yeah.
And then
And
hit with the cannon.
Yeah.
And in the open version, you can have fire control too, and then you can just keep the lock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
Also, this ship, kind of like that Wedge, has a new action bar, so he can evade, link into a red barrel roll, which I don't know with the dial that you want to be getting stressed, but it is a new action that you got.
Yeah, probably not too. On the other hand, now that it's kind of a replacement a bit for the full throttle. Because if you get the fully execute the maneuver off, you can get the lock action and then do the evade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually a bit more potent because then you can do the barrel roll, which you can't do in the old
Yeah.
way
So
because you can. Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
a better version a bit.
Yeah, and there's like in the standard loadout version, he's got what is it, computer assisted handling that's got 1 charge, but after you fully execute a maneuver, you may spend a charge to perform a boost or barrel roll. So for 1 turn, he can do just tons of actions, get that free lock, and then do a boost or do a boost, and then take an evade, and then do a red barrel roll. So just doing all sorts of stuff.
And imagine him doing it after the white 4K.
Yeah, goodness.
Wait, yeah, just thinking you could link if you get the lock action, then you trigger computer assisted handling to do a boost, and then you do the evade roll.
Yeah.
Or just a focus if it fits here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just thinking, you can do 4 action in 1 turn.
Yeah. And then I guess it looks like there's only, I mean, it's got Predator and Ion Cannon, but there's the special talent is while you perform a primary attack, if there are more friendly ships than other enemy ships at range 0 to 1 a defender, you may re-roll one of your blank results. So it's basically the opposite of Wedge, where
it's a trap. Yeah, it's called no escape.
Yeah.
So
they
it lets you finish the game more quickly.
Yeah. They definitely the two pilots that they released, they're like, here's a more defensive wedge and here's a more offensive defender. So they've swapped the roles as best as they can.
Yeah,
But I think they did a great job of power boosting the defender pilot.
Oh yeah,
That will
yeah,
be
no,
definitely the most. I mean, with the adjustability of the pilot side alone will be really expensive.
yeah.
Oh
I
my
would
God.
like to fly Captain Yor. I want to give him a shot.
And he can, yeah. He's all just thinking you can get to 5 dice if you got him on heavy laser cannon.
Oh, can you do? That's a question that can you apply? Yeah, it would be a cannon, so it would be a range bonus,
But
but that
there,
doesn't have a range 1. That is interesting.
yeah, it doesn't have a rocket icon,
Yeah,
Yeah,
just it's the range 1 bonus.
so you can apply range 1 bonus.
Oh, gross.
For 5 dice, heavy laser cannon.
Yeah, and he's got lock and focus, so
And you
and they
can
get a
do
reroll.
you can
and then he
you
can
can
do
boost
another.
you can boost 2 attacks in a round.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a primary attack that hits, yeah. Yeah, so a 4 and a 5 dice in one.
A little gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, so open set will be fun. Yeah. And then you can have fire control system, and you have to lock the rerolls also for the second one.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's it for today, I guess. We reviewed all.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there aren't any more leaks.
And I heard from Germany that there will be a new ship, or maybe a couple, but it's still unannounced. So the work they did work on the new ships.
Okay.
Oh,
Interesting.
just guessing. Let's see how well it holds up. What ship, if you have to guess one ship or two, what 2 ships do you think they will release if they release new things?
Would it just like brand new, not a re-release?
Yeah.
So Asajj Ventress flew something that was called a Genevex Starfighter.
Funblade, yeah.
Yeah, the fan blade one. Yeah. I remember looking at that one point and being like, that would be really cool to see. And it could be, because the fan blade can like collapse, they could do something similar to like S-foils where you get more agility when it's closed or when it's open, or however they want to do that. So or the triangle tie from
Darita.
Yeah, Ty Dorito. Yeah, from the Last Jedi. No, what is it? Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, those would be my 2 guesses.
Yeah, I would say for Darita too, but I don't think that Remix will come out. It's too niche, I'd say.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it since like the 2.0 came out.
Yeah. The only reason I think that is because AMG's been focusing on Shatterpoint, which is all Clone Wars era stuff, so they seem to like that era.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm thinking perhaps Krennic's shuttle.
Oh, yeah.
That could be something I could see.
Or maybe Centipede shuttle for the CIS.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
The long version.
Yeah, the big one.
I
think there's. I know. I think there's a small and a bigger version.
Yeah. Mentioning that made me think of Bad Batch. If you got the Bad Batch shuttle in.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's probably more likely. one of the most likelies.
Yeah, and I think like Disney might push for that because it's Bad Batch is on currently.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that's I think that's the most probable outcome.
but I could go for a Mandalorian N1 Starfighter. Throw that out there.
That is,
Mhm.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
that seems like something that they would just release in a pack, where it'd just be like you get a Mando pilot.
yeah. I don't think. Yeah, the problem is there. What other pilots
Yeah,
do you want to have?
yeah. There's
Astromech pilot.
yeah, R5 as a pilot. Yeah, and then there was
I want the yeah. Just thinking R5 as a pilot, probably something where if you don't engage, it's good.
Yeah. And so I think it's Lee Mackay flies a N1 Starfighter in Battlefront 2. So maybe they can add that. I think it's Lee Mackay. It might be Arliz Hadrassi. It's one of the Y-wing pilots that came out in Fugitives and Collaborators. They flew an N1. So you could, if they wanted to do a pack, yeah, they could do those. I'm still thinking R5 is funny.
Yeah. And we also have engineers like in Silencers. Maybe the engineer lady can pilot it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Pelimoto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
For the
make
test
her
drive.
an I1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt, for coming. It was a real
Thank
pleasure.
you for
Yeah.
coming.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Be sure to hear from us again if we make
Yeah.
another episode and need some pro how would it called opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm available, and I'm gonna give what's the new mode called? Wild Space.
Wild Space.
I'm gonna play a few more of those. I got a game in with Dab the other day. We played the VIP mission. I enjoyed that, and but yeah, I'm gonna give that a few more shots and see if I can get other people to play it around me. So
Great.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's really nice to hear. We have just for the outside. I think it shared it someone Reddit. It's like 6 months of development now from the first idea.
Mm. And for everybody who is listening, if you want to be on the podcast, if you have something to discuss, something to share with us, maybe you have an idea, a new mode, maybe something like that. I don't know. Just hit us on Discord.
Or you're just interested and want to, for example, with a new mode, just curious what it is and want to have like a sneak preview. I'm always looking for demo games to get feedback. Hit me up if you want to say, if you are interested, for example, in a demo game, because your local community might like scenarios and the old point system. This will be the perfect mode if that's the case.
Yeah. So, pit droids, keep your pit clean. And thank you for listening. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
Thank you,
for
Deb.
listening, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, Deb.
Thank you, Soji. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, cut the chatter.